Hey, you know what day it is? What's today, y'all? It's Tuesday Tea with D. 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 Come on, Tuesday Tea with D. Come on, Tuesday Tea with D. Come on, Tuesday Tea with D. Tuesday Tea with D. Tuesday Tea with D. Hey, happy Tuesday. It's your girl, Deetra Trueheart, your life purpose generator, purpose provoker, and I Speak Life mentor with another dose, another serving of Tuesday Tea with D. See, I got tea today. This is actually one of my original favorites. It is a green tea with ginger and peppermint tea mixed, right? So there's a peppermint tea bag in here, and then it's a green tea with ginger, probiotics, whatever in the bag. And so this is like one of my original favorite teas. And it's actually a tea that I drink often as a speaker because I'm always very intentional about protecting my throat, making sure that my throat is good because I talk for a living. So I decided I was running low. And so I went and picked up some more. So I've actually been drinking it like not every day, but like every other day. So you already know this tea is good. Today's conversation is called Turn Yourself Off Sometimes. This is going to be good, mainly because today's Tuesday Tea with D is brought to you by my upcoming masterclass called Pause. It is the updated and revised version of my quiet time training that I did maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. And it's happening Monday, March 6th, 2023 at 7 p.m. It's a 90-minute masterclass. And the focus is going to be helping you to regain your clarity, rediscover yourself, and reconnect with God. We are also going to be, and the link to register will be somewhere around this video, probably in the YouTube description. Or if you got this via email, it'll be in your email. But this is something that was an assignment. Even though the workshop is actually happening in March, it is February 7 years ago that my quiet time, I'll necessarily call it movement, but the lifestyle of quiet time for me began. And I'll talk a little bit about that at some point. But the point that I will make is I want you to register. And no, I'll talk a little bit. So I was at the point where, because this is going to go right into what we're going to talk about today around turning yourself off. But I was on the verge of exhaustion, burnout. I was doing all the things, going everywhere, supporting all the people. And here's the thing, like I was in a really good place. Like I wasn't in like a bad place. Like life was not sucking at the time, but I was extremely exhausted. I had been caregiving, doing a lot of stuff the previous maybe 3 or 4 years. And it was at a point where I had not even given myself permission or been told that it was okay for me to turn myself off. Right? Let's just segue. Okay. And so I was exhausted. And because I'm a hearer, right? Meaning that I'm very strategic about, getting in position so that I can hear from God. And most times, like I can walk and I'm like, okay, Lord, what's going on? Right. I can be at the grocery store. Like I've tuned my ear and trained my ear to be able to hear it. If at any point in time I'm feeling like I can't hear, I get quiet. That's part of what we're going to talk about at the Pause Masterclass too. But I was on and nobody really gave me permission. Like there just was no like off button, right? I just would go on and on and on and on, go sleep, wake up, and then do it all over again. And there were no quiet time moments, no rest moments, and here's the thing. As far as I can remember, I believe in mental health days. And so I would take days off, but it was like I was taking days off, but then I was going right back into this cycle of burning myself out. Another conversation we'll talk about at the Pause Masterclass. But I got to a point where I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm exhausted. I need a break. And so I took a break, right? I turned myself off and I tuned in to my Heavenly Father. I got quiet. And I really started spending time with him so that I could regain my clarity, rediscover myself, and reconnect with God because I actually was feeling a little distant. I was feeling like, I was not all over the place, but I'm like, this can't be, even though as great as things are going, like I'm getting awards and I'm going to all of these different things and, my business is kicking off and all the stuff. But I was exhausted, y'all. Like, child, your girl was exhausted. And I started to think about what I wanted to share with you today. And I know last week we talked about what's taking you so long. And the reason why it may be taking you so long is because you're always on, you're exhausted. And so it's taking you longer to do a thing because you're operating at a slow and exhausted pace because you never take time to turn yourself off. Now, I will use my phone as an example, and it's probably a really bad example because I never turn my phone off. Now, I have some personal reasons why I don't do that. But technically, you really are supposed to turn your phone off and let your phone recharge. And so sometimes if my phone is on like 1% or whatever, I normally will let it die before I charge it, right? But for the most part, because my phone is on, one of the things that I do, and many of you who are part of my tribe know this, my phone is on do not disturb from probably 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., which means I don't get notifications, I don't get text messages, I don't get phone calls. I have specific people in my phone who are part of my favorites list who, if anything happens, I believe their call goes right through, or after the second call, it goes right through because it's telling me like, hey, right, I need to get your attention. But I'm on do not disturb. And I'm very intentional about that because I noticed that, and the research will tell you that like we shouldn't be on our phones while, right before we go to bed. We shouldn't be watching TV. Now, granted, child, do what you want. This is not what this is about. But the purpose of it is there should be moments in your life where you can turn yourself off, where you can refill, where you can refuel, where literally you can just be. And if you don't have moments in your life where you can turn yourself off, like we have got to stop feeling like we got to be on all the time. Whether you're a leader, whether you're a pastor, whether you run a business, even as a parent, for me, my son knows I am not on all the time, right? There's some days where he'll say, hey, what's for dinner? And I'm like, child, you got Hot Pockets. You can make you a sandwich, get you a hot dog, like something, get you some fruit, child. Mom's off today. And here's the other thing. Most times there's leftovers, right? And so I'm like, well, there's food in there. Go make yourself, give you an example. Yesterday, I made shrimp, I made broccoli, I made rice and beans. And he's like, hey, what's for dinner? And I said, oh, well, leftovers. We also have chili. I made some chili. And he's like, well, can you make my dinner? And I said, no, actually, you can make your own dinner. Because, sometimes we have to get to the point to let folks know, like, I'm off today, or I'm busy, or I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. And so my question to you is you got to give yourself permission to turn yourself off sometimes, right? Not all the time. I get it. But there's got to be moments. And for me, I will say there needs to be moments where you turn yourself off daily, right? So I may not turn my phone off, but my phone is on do not disturb. I put it on the charger so it can be refilled and recharged for the next day. I hope you're catching this. And I let it be. And so sometimes I think we have to look at ourselves like the phone, right? And so maybe you're not literally turning yourself off, but you've got the do not disturb button on. You put yourself on the charger so that you can recharge and be ready for the next day. You are not accessible to anyone or anything, right? Obviously, if you're at home, that's different with your family and stuff, but even to some extent, right? And like I am actually at a point where I'm getting back to even a nightly routine where I'm making sure my son is in bed before 9 o'clock so that I have a full hour before I'm in bed by 10. I have to be in bed by 10:30, sleep by 10:30, but I really want to be in bed at 10. And so I'm reverse engineering it. Y'all remember, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, reverse engineering, right? And that was even in relation to your goals. But Like a goal may be, right? What does it look like for me so that I can get up at a certain time? If you got to get up at 6 in the morning, then you need to be in bed by 10 so that you can get a full 8 hours of sleep. And so, and there are seasons when stuff like that is like up and down. I get it. But if you are not in the habit of turning yourself off and not being accessible to people all the time, not doing the things all the time, not going to all the places all the time because you feel bad and you want to support the people, child, buy the ticket, tell them you're going to support and sew into them and stay home. Or don't buy the ticket. Like sometimes you don't have the money, the time, or the energy, and it's okay. If people don't understand that, then those are not your people. But let me just say, in order for my phone, this is good, this just dropped in. In order for my phone to operate at the highest capacity, like I've got to be able to give my phone a chance to recharge. I got to give my phone a chance even to update, right? And so when the phone updates, it's got to be on a charger, it's got to be connected to Wi-Fi, right? And so in order for you even to update, sometimes you got to recharge. You've got to be connected to the source. Like you've got to be connected so that God can update your thoughts. He can update some patterns. He can update your perspective and your vision. He can update your hearing. Like there's some things that you're not going, like, again, the reason it's taking you so long, hence if you missed last week's Tuesday Tea with D, go watch it. It could be because you're doing too much. And so where your focus is supposed to be, it can't be because your focus is all over the place. And so it is okay to turn off. It is okay to flip the switch and say today, and here's the thing, every day. Like there got to be moments every day. You can't wait. And maybe you can. I don't know your schedule, but that I would just say if that's the case, then you need to book a call with me so that we can kind of look at your schedule and rearrange some things and we just got to move some stuff around. Okay. But what I will say is if you're waiting until the weekend to turn yourself off, you're already on empty. You're already on empty. There need to be moments every single day in the same way that you make sure that your phone is charged and you make sure that your phone is updated so you can use it to its highest capacity. And I'm just using your phone because mostly everybody I know, if you don't have a phone, that's a personal choice, right? It's not, and because maybe you may not be able to afford it. But for the most part, if you have a phone, most people have a cell phone, you're going to pay the bill so that you have service, and you're also going to make sure you've got it charged so that you can use it, and you're going to make sure that you're going to update it so that you can use all of the features and use it to its full capacity. That's a word in and of itself. Maybe you are not operating at your highest and fullest capacity is because you're not taking time to put yourself on do not disturb, turn yourself off, update, make updates, recharge and reset your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul so that when you wake up, you're ready for the next day, right? You can't just be getting just enough sleep. And sometimes you get sleep and no rest. That's a totally different conversation. I've taught about that. You can get sleep and no rest. And I'll just give you a quick example. You ever go to sleep and you wake up and you're still tired? That's because you didn't rest. Whatever was going on in your mind and whatever was going on, it was still like you didn't give yourself time to shut down, right? So I'm going to cut it off there, but give yourself permission to turn yourself off. And I'm not even going to say sometimes. I know that that's what this is called, but I'm really going to say every day. You need moments of do not disturb every day. You need moments of putting yourself down, putting yourself on the charger, and setting yourself aside every day. And if that is a struggle for you, then you need to be at my Pause Masterclass. But even beyond that, then we need to get on the phone so that we can talk about what it looks like for you to work with me privately, because there are some things that we need to shift and rearrange, not only in your mindset, but in how you move in order for you to start believing that you don't have to wait until everything crashes for you to shut down and turn off. So with that being said, make sure, I'm going to put this up again so that you have access to it. Make sure you are registered for the Pause Masterclass happening Monday, March 6, 2023 at 7 p.m. It is a 90-minute masterclass. It is all about some updated and revised teaching for my quiet time training, but there's some new stuff that I'm adding to it around regaining your clarity, discovering yourself, reconnecting with God. It's really about all the things that, I've learned and implemented over these past 7 years that I want to be able to give to you, because I'm seeing my people out here. I'm seeing you out here. And my first question is normally like, how often are you like taking time to get quiet? And 9 times out of 10, there's crickets, or the answer is it's not enough time. And so we have to change that. And so I want you again to click the link in the description of this video. Or if you see, if you follow me on social media, which you should be, you can click the link in my bio. You'll see the Pause Masterclass. Go on and register. It's $97, child. It's no brainer fee. It's $97. You get limited access to the replay, and it'll bless your whole life, right? Some of you need a reminder. Some of you need this teaching because it's new, but I think it's necessary, because there's too many of us walking around here feeling guilt about turning ourselves off because we've never been given permission and acceptance and affirmation and confirmation that it actually is a part of life. We should be shutting ourselves down for a little bit to recharge, right? And it does include sleep, but sometimes you don't have to sleep to rest. Another conversation. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this week's dose of Tuesday Tea with D. Tuesday Tea with D. Tuesday Tea with D. Tuesday Tea with D. Oh, and before I go, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, you comment, and share. And then also make sure you follow me everywhere on social media. You can either find me at Deetra Trueheart or Trueheart Speaks Enterprises.